Can you talk to us about the comparison of Judas and Melanthius?
Oh, Judas and Melanthius?
Yes.
Oh, this is fantastic. And this is the first time anybody has asked me about those parallels. We could use the rest of our time together talking about this. I'm so excited. I want to start with Melanthius, so because most people don't know who Melanthius is. And by the way, you might be interested in this. The name Melanthius means black man. His sister's name is Melantho, and that is black woman. And their father is named Dolios, which means deceitful. Already in Homer, you have anti-black racism with these slaves. And he's the only slave, these are the only two slaves that are really treacherous, even though their father is more kind to Odysseus. Now, so what happens? Odysseus is gone for 20 years. Penelope is aging and she has this marvelous estate. She has lots of suitors, over 100 of them when you include their servants to go with them. And they're feasting endlessly on her estate to see who she'll select to marry. And then they can divvy up her goods among them and have this unintended wealth. Well, Telemachus, the son, is standing in the way of that inheritance. And by the way, this is the story that informs the parable of the wicked vine dressers. The master is away. People are abusing the servants. He sends his son. They want to kill the son outside the city and so on. So this is, that's just an aside. Well, Melanthius says to himself, and so does Melantho, look, Odysseus would have come back from the war. He's been at sea 10 years. Surely he's not going to survive. One of these suitors is going to marry Penelope. So I'll tell you what, Melantho, says Melanthius, I'll make sure that the suitors have enough goats to eat at their feasts because he's the goat herd. And you can sleep with any of the suitors you want to, because, Odysseus is not going to come back. And when he actually arms the suitors, when Odysseus gets back and they have a fight, and Odysseus and Telemachus kill all the suitors, but there's a special death for Melantho, namely she's hung with other female slaves who slept with the suitors. But Melanthius is dismembered. His ears, nose, limbs, everything is dismembered and given to the dogs to eat. Now, let's go to Judas Iscariot. The name Iscariot appears in no connection with anyone but Judas and in the Gospel of John, his father. It probably means into the city, as a compound between a Greek preposition is and Kyrios, which is the name of the word for village or a city. He's into the city. Melanthius first appears in the Odyssey, driving his goats into the city for the feasting suitors. Judas trades sides and sides with Jesus's enemies and decides to expose him. When at the Gethsemane scene, he's the one who comes with an armed group to arrest Jesus. And we're told in Mark, and the slave of the high priest chopped off one of Jesus's associates, chopped off the ear of the slave of the high priest. Well, that's none other than Judas himself. He's become their slave and not a slave of Jesus as he should have been. And so you have this shady character, if I might say so, in the gospel that is used to portray Judas as the betrayer. And he plays the role of Melanthius. So that's maybe more than you wanted, but he's really a wonderful, colorful character.